تفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. Tonight is now the 10th night of Rajab 1445, which is equivalent to the 21st of January 2024. We are studying the book Al-Tasfiyah wa Al-Tarbiyah by the Imam Al-Albani, may Allah have mercy upon him, and this is now the third class. We stopped on page 26 of the English translation, about 10 or 11 lines down. When you deal in Aina is not far from us. The transaction of Aina is something which is not accepted or known with the majority
No,
of
no,
the
no, no.
people.
It's before that, Ahmed. And the
Okay,
previous example and the previous. So just go back a bit.
okay.
The previous example, and I got a note for this.
This
So
is in,
I'll tell you what. Go from the Hazz al-Aktaf, which is the page before, from the top.
okay, Sheikh.
Yeah.
They think that the return to this religion is a simple matter. As for me, then I see that the return to this religion requires, as it is said amongst us, to shrug the shoulders. And that is because all of us know
Like the
that this
shoulders, that
religion,
means make a movement. You make something. It's move. In Arabic, Hazz al-Aktaf. It means it's not really move your shoulders or shrug your shoulders. It means you have to get on your feet and do something. You can't just wish for something. Oh, we're going to go back to our religion like that. Go ahead.
and that is because all of us know that this religion has been attacked by many attempts to change many of its realities. Thus, some people have managed to achieve the likes of this change or distortion, with some of it being known amongst many of the people and some of it not. This is in opposition to the general masses who see certain matters, some belief related and some subsidiary fiqh issues, as all being from the religion. However, these issues have nothing to do with the religion, and the preceding example being the first reason for humiliation mentioned by the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this hadith, when you deal in Aina, is not far from us. The transaction of Aina is something which is not accepted or known with the majority of the people as being forbidden. Rather, there still exist many scholars in some of the Islamic lands,
Even in
those,
Saudi Arabia itself. Now,
those lands which we hope will be the fortress of Islam and far from being influenced with what has influenced other Islamic lands.
you're talking about the Mamlaka, Saudi Arabia. Now,
Those lands which we hope will be the fortress of Islam and far from being influenced with what has influenced other Islamic lands, who have given verdicts for the transaction of Aina, a transaction which involves the deception of making riba lawful.
okay,
This is,
so some of the scholars who are in that land, unfortunately, some are making it halal. And this is to make deception of taking riba, making riba to be halal. Now, and this is,
this is just one of the examples from the numerous examples which those who occupy themselves with Islamic fiqh are aware of. This type of transaction, coupled with its prohibition by the Messenger sallallahu alaihi
and
wasallam,
what's that? They said they can't hear. Can hear who? They can't hear you. They cannot hear me. Can I ask? They can hear him, yes? Why is not me? I can't hear. I could hear myself. Can they hear me? But I'm just saying, is there a speaker on there? Yeah. Give me the microphone. Do the one. That's why we need another microphone. Told you. Inshallah, we'll do it tonight. Bismillah. Don't tell me they can't hear me now. Yes, better? Okay. Go, Ahmed.
This is just one of the examples from the numerous examples which those who occupy themselves with Islamic fiqh are aware of. This type of transaction, coupled with its prohibition by the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the fact that he placed it as the reason for the Muslims falling into humiliation, is just one of dozens of examples which show what we have mentioned. And that is that it is obligatory upon us to understand this religion again in the light of the Quran and the Sunnah. Whilst this is so, we also point out that there exist scholars out there who are making permissible some of the things which have been made forbidden by a clear text from the Sunnah. Our intent behind this is not to attack or take from the knowledge of the one who has made permissible what the Hadith has forbidden and rebuked. Rather, we want to advise the Muslims and to cooperate with all of them, especially those who occupy themselves with Islamic fiqh, by understanding the deviation which has befallen some of the people due to whatever reason. And this is by returning to the decision of the noble Quranic ayah, which is known amongst all of us. However, how few are those who strive for its application. This ayah is the saying of Allah the Blessed, the Most High, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. Translation: and if you differ in anything amongst yourselves, then refer it to Allah and His Messenger. If you believe in Allah and the Last Day, that is better and more suitable for final determination.
So, you finished it? Yeah, translation?
Yes, Sheikh.
Right. So the Sheikh is telling us that he's not trying to degrade some of the scholars who have made some transaction to be correct, but are incorrect. But here we want to cooperate with each other and with these people, especially the ones who are specialized in fiqh, to understand the drift that the people they are onto from the haqq by making the Quran and the Sunnah to be the judge. So when Allah says, if you are in dispute of something, then send it back to Allah and His Messenger if you believe in Allah and His last day. So if you have dispute, send it back not to Shafi'i, Ahmed, send it to قال Allah, قال رسول. Send it to قال Allah, قال رسول. That is the best of interpretation. Like some of the scholars, for example, they make the marriage with the intention of divorce to be halal. I'm talking about Ahl Sunnah. I'm not talking about mut'ah. No. Mut'ah is a person who makes a deal with a woman. He says to her, I want to marry you for 1 day, 2 hours, 3 hours. How much? It's like prostitution. How much is your dowry? How much did he want? Okay, that's it. Maybe no meet with 2 witnesses. That's it. After he finishes what he wants to do with the women, after that, I divorce you. That's zina, fornication. That's mut'ah. But this is not. This is to do with a full marriage. But this person, this man, he is marrying and he is inside him the intention to divorce. Would you like to have your daughter married to somebody like this? What do you call this person? What do you call him? Messing about with the girls of yours. He's already want to marry with you, and mashallah, he puts the dowry and the 2 witnesses and everything. But he, the man, doesn't disclose anything of what he wants to do. It's just, he traveled to this country and he sees he's vulnerable, so he wants to secure himself. So he goes to somebody and he marries his daughter for the sake of securing himself, but he has inside his head the intention to divorce. Do you understand? Unfortunately, Sheikh Ibn Baz, rahimahullah, gave verdict to be okay for this. And all other scholars refute that. Who amongst us would accept for his daughter to marry to somebody who is intending to divorce her as soon as he finishes his mission? Would you like to marry? I want to shake it up. Would you like anybody who'd like to come in? Okay. And that fatwa made so many people reluctant to give their daughters to the outsiders, especially from that country, because in case he wants to marry her for a particular time and then divorces her. Nobody knows about his intention. And that is not correct fatwa. Another fatwa which is wrong as well, those people who put extra money for time payment. This mobile is 500 cash and 700 if you paid in 1 year. 1,000 if you paid in 2 years, and so on and so forth. And don't find there's a difference between this transaction and going to the bank, getting money, and he says it, say to you, APR such and such percentage. So the more you delay, the more you pay. Maybe I will make it even cheaper than that Islamic transaction, they call it Islamic. Yeah, pay cheaper. And the interest rate was not going to be as much as that. But they make it halal in such a way that is, we have to have one price, meaning 1 year, 700. There is no such thing after 1 year, it will increase. It means that he will have a guarantor or something, somehow a check in which way he imprisons you, but it will not increase above 700. Whereas the other one, it will increase the more you delay it because it's APR, isn't it? Percentage. So this one, no, it's one transaction with one time, no increase. They make it halal. But the correct opinion is not halal because the Prophet ﷺ said so. من باع بيعتين فله أوكسهما أو الربا. He who does make a true transaction in something, then he has two options. أوكسهما, the less figure, the less amount, which is the 500, or الربا, which is riba as what? Is the higher amount. So either you go to the lower amount, which is halal, فله أوكسهما, which is a halal, or الربا, which is what? The higher amount. Simak ibn Harb, the translator or the narrator of this hadith, he said, أن يبيع بيعة بكذا وكذا ونسيئة كذا وكذا. That means he sells an item, cash, straight away, with such and such money. And in installments to defer the payment, that is going to be with such and such, which is extra money to be paid. And that is the riba. So some scholars, they say it's halal. That's why, brothers, we need to pray Tahiyyat al-Masjid. It doesn't look maybe like a masjid, it's a masjid. Jazakumullah khair. طيب يا أحمد, continue please. فالدارسون للفقه.
Jazakallah khairan, Shaykhana. Those who study fiqh know that the scholars of the past, not to mention those of the present day, had a difference of opinion about Ina and many other transactions. And what are the scholars doing today with the likes of these issues which have a difference of opinion? That which I know is that the overwhelming majority of them silently approve of this differing, leaving that which is ancient, as it's said, to its antiquity. Whilst this is happening, I say, how will the Muslims return to their religion, with it being that which the Messenger ﷺ laid down as a cure, so that if they take hold of it, the humiliation will be lifted from them?
The hadith which we have repeated it so many times, and I need you to memorize that. إذا تبايعتم بالعينة وأخذتم أذناب البقر وتركتم ورضيتم بالزرع وتركتم الجهاد سلط الله عليكم ذلا لا ينزعه عنكم حتى ترجعوا إلى دينكم. Translation please, Ahmed.
Yes, if you deal in Ina,
if you deal in Ina, you hold on to the tails of the cows and you accept and agree for the satisfy yourself with agriculture, and you abandon jihad, then Allah will impose upon you humiliation, which will not be taken away until you go back to your religion. So go back to إذن العلاج الوحيد.
Otherwise, if they don't take hold of it, it will not be lifted, as it is mentioned in the hadith.
Okay, please go down. إذن العلاج.
Thus, the only cure is a return to the religion. However, this religion, as everyone knows, and in particular those who study fiqh, is differed upon with the severest of differing.
We have
This
a fatwa market. You want to shop around? Yes. Just go to Google. Google will give you different flavors of fatwa. Whatever. You want music halal? You'll find scholars in music halal. What do you want? Mut'a halal? They'll give you mut'a halal. Fatwa market. Shop around. Now,
This differing is not only restricted to a few subsidiary issues, as many of the writers or scholars say and think.
it's not to do with the issue of putting the hands on the chest or below the chest or in the navel. These are called subsidiaries, meaning small matters. But actually, go on.
Rather, it has exceeded the subsidiary issues and has reached the issues of Aqidah. So in one place, there is a big difference between Ash'aris and the Maturidis, and another place, there is a difference between these, the Maturidis, and the Mu'tazila.
Okay.
Not to mention.
Okay. So here he mentions the difference in the Aqidah. For those people, when we call them Ahl Sunnah, we don't call them Ahl Shia. Because when we say Sunnah, it's always Sunnah against Shia. So the Sufis even enters in the Sunnah. So anything which is not Rafidah, not Shia, is what? Sunnah. So in that Sunnah, we throw into it Ash'ariyah, we throw into it Sufiyah, we throw into it Maturidiyah. Because, you know, these are not Shia. We throw into it Mu'tazila. We throw into lots of partisans. But when you go to the Ahl Sunnah, but actually Ahl Sunnah, they're not Ahl Sunnah. They're still, how can we combine between Sufiya and Salafiyah? They are like this. They're against one another. One depends upon Qala Allah, Qala Rasuluh, and the other one says, Allah told me. MashaAllah, straight link. Sufi says, Allah, haddathani qalbi an Rabbi. My heart spoke to me from Allah. Why should they say, why should you go from one dead to another dead to another dead? Insan haddathana Muawiyah an Ali an Sufyan. What is this? Dead, 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 dead. Haddathani qalbi, alive from my Lord who's alive. Life from life. That's a Sufi, who are people who pray in the masajid. Maybe some of us gave them their daughter to marry. Maybe not hardcore Sufi, but small Sufis. As long as he's got a car and then, alhamdulillah, brings money to my daughter, go and get married. And we call them Ahl Sunnah. Some of them are Maturidiyah. Some of them Maturidiyah. There's lots of Maturidis. Lots of Maturidis. The ones who are, most of the Ahnaf are Maturidis. But not every Hanafi Maturidi, but every Maturidi Hanafi. So the Maturidi Ahnaf. Then don't go farther away. This masjid next to you is Maturidi. Okay, did even kuffar? No, from Ahl Sunnah, because the Brailwis, which are hardcore Sufis, they deem all of us to be what? Wahhabis, including the other masjid. The other masjid, in the eyes of the Brailwis, we are Wahhabis. Okay? So who's the Ash'ara, who's the Maturidiyah, who's the Mu'tazila? First one, let's start with the Mu'tazila. Mu'tazila is a group that emerged a long time ago, at the time of the followers of the followers. A person called Wasil ibn Ata. He اعتزل مجلس الحسن البصري. Hasan al-Basri, he had a majlis, meaning circle of knowledge. This guy, he set himself aside. And he thinks Hasan al-Basri is not correct. Imam Hasan al-Basri, great scholar. So he made his own circle. Straight away, slowly, people started coming to this circle. From those things they adopted, which is that a person who is doing sins, okay, then let's say, for example, he is a thief, fornicator. They don't call him Muslim. And they don't call him kafir. They call him in between. There's camps. So he's manzila bayna manzilatayn. But in the hereafter, hellfire. Do you get it? Right. And there's camps, they call it. And they say the person creates his own action. Person creates what? His own action. Did you understand that word? Okay. The creator Allah, he created everything, isn't it? He created good and what? evil. Allah created Iblis, Shaitan. But when He created the evil, Allah is not evil. Do you understand me? When you do evil, that's you are evil. But Allah, when He created the evil, He created for a wisdom, for a reason. Do you understand me? He did not create pure evil. It's evil from one side, but it's good from the other side. Shaitan is evil, but makes you strive against it, makes you get closer to the haq. From that side is good. Pain in your tooth is evil for you. It's no good, but it's good for the dentist. He makes money out of you. Yeah, that's why when he makes dua, oh Lord, rizq provision, that means, oh Lord, knock the teeth of the people, make them to rot, so he could have more business. So we say the crisis of some people is fortune for others, isn't it? Crisis of some people, fortune for others. When we had the coronavirus, lots of people went down, lots of people got up from the Zoom. Oh, the Zoom got billions of people, because everybody's on now what? He wants to go from online. Zoom, it made millions in the corona. So they were wishing more corona. So it's not pure evil. These people, they said, no, we cannot say Allah creates evil. Do you understand now? They say no. And that's why they've been called by the Prophet ﷺ, Majusu hadhihi al-ummah. Majus mean the fire worshippers, the Magians. Because the fire worshippers, they believe in two gods, God of the light and God of the dark, God of the good and God of the bad. These people, the same thing. They say Allah is only creates what? Good. As for the evil, no, you created. Allah doesn't got nothing to do with it. Do you understand? So from one angle, they want to absolve Allah. But absolving Allah, what? Making another creator. Do you understand now the danger of this? So saying that you create your action, implement these two gods. And the history tells us that doesn't go into you. It doesn't really work with your instinct. Especially those people whom their instinct was not polluted by outsiders. One person was a Bedouin man. He's not a scholar, he's not a student of knowledge. He's just a person in the desert. He had his camel stolen. He couldn't get it. He heard about a sheikh teaching. He didn't want to be sheikh, will make me dua. That camel will get back to me. And I'll find out who was the thief. So he went to the sheikh, but this sheikh he went to is Mu'tazili. The one who says the person creates his own evil. So he said to him, make me dua. What happened? My camel was stolen. So the sheikh, so-called, raised up his hands. Oh Allah, return the camel of this person to him. Oh Allah, his camel was stolen and you did not will for it to be stolen. So the person with the Bedouin left. Where are you going? He said, I've got nothing to do with your God. Why is it? He said, if your God did not will for it to be stolen, and it was stolen regarding his will, how is it going to be powerful enough to return my camel? Instinct. Do you understand me? If Allah, illogic. If Allah did not will for it to be stolen, and yet it was stolen, that means Allah is not, your God is not powerful. Your God is not Allah. Your God is not powerful. Why do they want to say that you create your own evil? Because they don't want to attribute to Allah the evil. But we say Allah creates the evil, but it's not evil. وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ. And evil does not go back to you. But He is the creator of the evil. But you create evil, you are evil. But He creates the evil for hikmah, for wisdom. There's a crime, so the police will work. And there's no crime, police will shut down and they'll be homeless. True or not? Crime is an evil. No crime, police will last, no jobs. Like, coming back. There was a scholar, Salafi, Abu Ishaq al-Isfaraini, rahimahullah. He was entering onto place where there's like the leader, the Khalifa, and there was a person next to him. It's called Al-Qadi Abdul Jabbar al-Hamadani. Great Mubtada' Mu'tazili. When he saw this Salafi scholar, Sunni scholar, so he wanted to tease him. So he said, سبحان الذي تنزه عن الفحشاء. He says to him, glory be to Allah, who absolves himself from fahsha, wrong things, evil things. Because he said Allah does not create evil. So he says, he's teasing them, you are saying that Allah creates evil. Subhan, glory be to Allah. Glorified to Allah, or glorified be Allah, that He absolves Himself from indulging into evil. So he replied back, Subhan alladhi la yakunu fi mulkihi illa ma yasha. Word for word. Say, glorified be to Allah, the one who will not permit anything to be in His dominion except if He wills it. Nothing will take place in His dominion except by His will. Do you understand me? Because this person, he said, the evil is against the will of Allah. Nothing will take place in this dunya, okay, without the will of Allah. Subhanalladhi la yakunu fi mulkihi illa ma yasha. So he said to him, this Mu'tazili, Ayasha'u Rabbuna an yu'sa? Does Allah wills for him to be disobeyed? Ayasha'u Rabbuna an yu'sa? Does Allah will for Himself to be disobeyed by the people, to make evil against Him? So he said to him, Ayursa Allahu qahra. Will Allah be disobeyed against His will? Do you understand? So would you return word for word? So he said to him, okay, let me tell you. If Allah intends for me to be misguided and take away the guidance, did He do good or bad to me? Because he wants to prove that Allah does not create evil. He said to him, well, verily, if He stripped away from you something that He doesn't own, then He's done dhulm. But if He's taken away something from you which belongs to Him, then no one is supposed to ask what He does. Do you understand that? In Arabic, قال له, he said to him in Arabic, the last thing he said to him, then إذا أراد الله به شرا أفعل خيرا أم غير ذلك؟ قال إن أخذ منك شيئا هو في ملكك فقد أساء وإن لم يكن فإنما في ملكه فليس لك أن تسأل. لا يسأل عن شيء, لا يسأل عما يفعل. Allah Azza wa Jalla cannot ask what He does. So Allah taking away the guidance, the guidance belongs to Him. He did not do anything good, bad to you. So Ikhwan, the Mu'tazila is of two types, Kuffar and other than the Kuffar. The Kuffar, the ones who says Allah doesn't know. He has no knowledge. Meaning, if I, for example, now remove this bottle from the table, Allah did not have the knowledge I'm going to remove the bottle from the table. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's got no preceding knowledge. It's like, I surprised Allah. Those are kuffar. So we know that Allah Azza wa Jal has the knowledge before He created everything. This knowledge preceded the writing of the pen. When He commanded the pen to write everything from the time of beginning until the day of resurrection. The pen does not mention it's going to write after the day of resurrection. But the knowledge of Allah precedes that. So Allah had the knowledge, then which is ilmun azali, and He commanded the pen and He wrote everything. Those people, they say that Allah has got no knowledge. He's kuffar. The other one, they say, no, he's got the knowledge, but He does not create evil. And manzila bayna manzilatayn. Allahu musta'an, ya ikhwan. There was a scholar, or not scholar, person, Allah musta'an. He was actually the opposite of the Mu'tazila. When there was somebody who does not pray, for him who does not pray, even if the Muslim is a kafir. So when they brought this person, and he was highly known, he said, well, we're going to pray upon him. Well, we don't know, maybe he prayed or not. We will treat him between the two manzila. But in the hereafter, he will be out in hell. This is the opposite of whom? of the Mu'tazila. The Mu'tazila, they say, is a kafir in the dunya, and the hereafter is between the two places. Let's go back now to the second one, Al-Asha'ira wal-Mutawaddiyah. Asha'ira are followers of Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari when he was in his middle stage, because Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari was a Mu'tazili. And he came over the Mu'tazila, became Ash'ari, and he refuted the Mu'tazila. Then after that, he left the Mu'tazila and Ash'ariyah, and he went to Imam Ahmad Madhab. So the Ash'a'ira, they attribute themselves to Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari in his middle stage, where he was following Ibn Kullab. So it's called Kullabiyya, not Ash'ariyah. This Kullabiyya is the one that these people, they don't believe in all the attributes. Some of the attributes, like Allah is above, no, say ulu al-rutbah. So the highness of Allah Azza wa Jal, no. So there are lots of attributes to Allah Azza wa Jal to do with the hands, they don't, the hands and the power. Okay? So all of those 7 attributes, they don't attribute to Allah. They only affirm 7 attributes. The rest they don't. Like the knowledge, the life, but they don't attribute. For example, believe Allah ascends, descends. They don't believe in that. He says ascends His mercy, descends His mercy, and ascends His words, but not Allah. We say He ascends and descends according to His majesty. We understand the descendants, like Allah Azza wa Jalla, He descends in the last third of the night, but we don't know how. So we only adjourn the how. We don't know about the how. But Allah descends. We have to understand the meaning and affirm the meaning. And also affirm there's a how, but we don't know how is the how. Do you understand what I'm saying? We affirm there is a how for descendants. We know there's a how, but we don't know how is the how. Okay? So this is what we say. We are Malikis and Shafi'is and Hanbalis and Hanafis. When they said, قل في الصفات ما تقوله في الذات. Say in the attributes of Allah what you say in the essence of Allah, and you'll be clear. What is the essence of Allah? Do we know how the essence of Allah look like? Do we? The essence, do it look like? Yes or no? Do we know the essence of Allah look like? No, we don't. So we don't know how the attributes look like. Do you understand me? Do we confirm there's essence? Yeah, of course, essence of Allah. We confirm there's attributes. Do you understand me? قل في الصفات ما تقوله بالذات. Alhamdulillah, clear and happy. Say what in the attribute, what you say Allah is that. Allah Azza wa Jal, Ar-Rahman al-Arsh istawa. Ar-Rahman, Allah is rose above the throne. How? We don't know, but He rose. Those Asha'ira, as I said, they don't believe Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari had left Al-Kullabiyya bin Kullab stage and went to the last one, which is Imam's Ahmad Madhab. And he had made some books which the Asha'ira, they don't believe in. So they don't, Maqalat al-Islamiyin, Risalat al-Thaghr, Al-Ibana, they don't believe in these books, 3 ones. They don't believe that these books are belong to Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari, in which he denounced himself from the Ibn Kullab stage, which is the Ash'ariyah. Ash'ariyah, their main, so we said Mu'tazila, what is their main? Manzila bayna manzilatayn, and also that they, between the two, they're not kafir or Muslim. And also they say that the person will be, if he's a sinner, he'll be a kafir, because the iman for them does not go up and down. And the most important thing, that the person creates his own action. As for the Asha'ira, they put aql before naql. Intellect to govern what? The text. So they will look at the text. If it's suitable to the intellect, they'll accept it. If it is not, they'll twist it. Do you understand that? So al-aql, number 1 for them, al-aql. Any hadith which opposes the aql, then it has to be a hadith either is not correct or mu'awwal. We have to basically twist it to make it suit the aql. We'll tell them which aql to talk about. Each aql differs from another aql. Each intellect differs from intellect. What is okay for you is not okay for me. Aql is, we say like Imam Ibn Taymiyyah said, al-aqlu shahid wa shar'u qadin. Sharia, Allah wa Rasuluh, is a judge. And the aql is a witness. فَإِذَا شَاءَ لِلْقَاضِ أَنْ يَطْلُبَ الشَّاهِدِ فَلَهُ ذَلِكَ. If the judge said, I don't want you witness in this court, get out. Do you understand that? So the judge, the Sharia, if he said, no aql here, aql has got no room here. Where is your aql when we say, when you wipe over the hook, what do you wipe? The top or the bottom? You wipe with the bottom. So we wipe over the top. Your aql says what? That's the aql which is ill. But this is your aql. Says because we pray on our foot, we have to wipe it from the bottom. But actually, if the aql which is sahih, you will understand it has to be from the top. You know why? Which is Sharia said no aql here, but the aql sahih, which is this is not to clean underneath. This is a spiritual. It's not like washing the feet. I mean, what is that mess? It's going to be cleaning. What is it like this? It's not going to clean. So it's a spiritual thing. That's why from the aql sahih, it's to be from what? The top, not from the bottom. But according to aql, yeah, I'd say, well, sick aql, let's say from the bottom. So Sharia here, he said, aql is not there. Lots of things could be as an example. So we can't put the aql to be judged over the text. It's the opposite. Text is to rule the aql. And that's why Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, he had made a very big book, which is to do al-aql wal-naql. Al-aql wal-naql. Al-Maturidiyah. Abu Mansur al-Maturidi, contemporary with Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari. This person, almost exactly like Ash'ari. They're not much difference. They also put the aql first. Tahsin al-aqli. But there are things that they distinguish with from the Ash'ari. We'll leave that, inshallah. We're going to go straight away into Ahmad, فضلا عن الفرق الأخرى وكلهم.
And all of these sects are considered by us as Muslims, and all of them are the ones who are addressed by a hadith when it says, Allah will inflict humiliation upon you and will not remove it until you return to your religion. So which interpretation of the religion do we have to return to? Is it upon the understanding of the madhab, school of thought of such and such, or all the other madhabs out there? Let us then just restrict ourselves momentarily to the difference between the four main madhabs. The madhabs which we say are from the madhabs of Ahlul Sunnah.
Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad. Fadl.
Which interpretation of the religion is it then? That is the cure that will
let's
lift.
just now restrict the difference. We don't want to talk now about Rafida. We don't want to talk about Asha'ira. We don't want about Turidiyya. Let's talk about just the madhab. Madhab. Let's say that. Can we just, for example, live together with this madhab like this? Fadl.
Which interpretation of the religion is it then that is the cure that will lift the humiliation from us? For if we return to any of the madhabs, we will find that there exist several issues, or 10 issues, or dozens of issues which conflict with the Sunnah. Not to mention that some of these issues also conflict with the Quran. Because of this, I believe that any reformation by the callers to Islam and those who pursue the establishment of the Islamic State has to be built upon them being sincere. It has to be built upon them returning to making themselves understand, first and foremost, the religion.
They have to make themselves understand. They themselves have to understand the proper religion before they start making da'wah to the people. What is the correct religion we want the people to refer to in order to lift this humiliation according to the hadith? Fadda. And
it has to be.
And then secondly, one.
First and foremost, the religion which the Messenger of Allah ﷺ came with, and then secondly, to make the Ummah understand the religion. It has to be built upon the fact that there is no way towards it and no way back to the understanding of the religion in the reality in which Allah Azza wa Jal revealed it, except by studying the Quran and the Sunnah. And this is what I believe to be a consensus amongst the jurists. Without doubt, the Imams of the past, may Allah have mercy upon them, due to their excellence and the excellence which their Lord had given them, warned their early followers who were upon knowledge from being attached to them, from following them blindly, and from placing them as the origin of the return to the religion. They warned them that if they did these things, then they would forget the origin of the Sharia, the Quran and the Sunnah. None of you are in need that we quote for you the sayings of the Imams, which all revolve around the statement which is authenticated from all of them. إذا صح الحديث فهو مذهبي. When a hadith is authentic, then it is my madhab.
Right. So these scholars, Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad, they differed. None of them said to you, you have to follow me. They've said, follow the one we follow, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when we find that these people, they have said, all of them, if the hadith is authentic, this is my madhab. Let's just give you an example. Those people said, I'm a Hanafi. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah said, if the person is to discharge blood, his wudu is invalid. Do you understand? So if blood comes out from you, you cut your finger, blood is for them is impure. Impurity coming out of the body invalidates the wudu. That means you can't pray. You have to make wudu and wrap your finger. Now, we know for a fact that there was a companion who was not just cut, he was hit by an arrow, 2 arrows, and he's still on the 3rd arrow, and he's still reading the Quran. This is a story between 2 companions. One of them is called Ammar ibn Yasir, and the other one is called Abbad ibn Bishr, radiyallahu anhu. On the way back from the battle, and it looks like one of these battles that the Prophet ﷺ had gained a win, the Prophet ﷺ's companion, they got wubuti. One of them is a woman. And women took the wubuti. So the husband of that woman who was a kafir, he saw that his woman is being taken away from him. He said, I am gonna go and shed blood. I'm gonna go and follow these people. Either I'm gonna kill one of them until they bring me my wife. You know, when the wife becomes a wubuti, her relationship with her husband becomes what? Void, ceased, dissolved. Wubuti is to protect the people. The wubuti in Islam, slavery, is to protect the person because he's got rights straight away. Okay. If I want to talk to you about the fiqh of sabaya, the fiqh of the wubuti, wallahi, I need a lecture. You will be amazed what Islam had put there to protect those slaves. And that's why so many slaves became Muslims. Not only that, we have the state called Dawlatul Mamalik. Have you heard about this Dawlatul Mamalik? The state, the country of slave countries was Muslim. They were Mamalik. They were slaves and they became what? MashaAllah. And we have lots of shuyukh became from the Mamalik, the emancipated slave. One of them is Al-Hasan al-Basri, rahimahullah, great scholar. Zayd ibn Haritha, he was a slave to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he was emancipated. But when he was asked by his father and mother, ask Muhammad to give you freedom. He said, I don't want freedom. I want to be a prophet. I don't want freedom. Ya Allah. So slavery in Islam is not the word in English. Slavery in English, it means humiliation. It means the person is stripped from his own rights. He's got no right whatsoever. He's a property. Not in Islam. In Islam, he eats with you. He eats from your food. He dresses like you. So if you are a millionaire, he will be a millionaire in the way he dresses. He's your slave, but he is with you. Allah had protected him. So let's just go back to this hadith. This hadith is that when this man followed the Muslims, Prophet ﷺ, he camped in a valley. And he wanted to put a guard for this army. He's with him. So he said, Man yakla'una hadihi layla. Who's going to be protecting, guarding us for this night? So 2 had volunteered. One from the Muhajirin, Ammar ibn Yasir, or one from the Ansar, Abbad ibn Bishr. These 2 companions. He said to them, okay, go at the entrance of the valley and protect so enemy can go, or we will sleep. So these 2 went to the beginning of the entrance of the valley. And now the Ansari, Abbad ibn Bishr, is telling the Muhajir, Ammar ibn Yasir, which part of the night do you want me to guard? So the night is going to be divided into 2 halves. One half, one person will be guarding, the other one will be what? Sleeping. The other half, the other one will be sleeping, and then one will be guarding. So the Ansari is giving the preference, giving the choice there. Which part of the night do you want me to guard? He said, the beginning of the night. So Ammar wants to sleep, and later on he will guard at the later night. So he went to sleep. Now, this person is a guard. He took opportunity to go and invest in his time to pray. He's gardening while he's praying, you could see. So he started praying. And he started praying with Surah Al-Kahf. This person who is the enemy, who wants to get revenge, either he gets his wife or going to get some blood from these people, he saw his opportunity. One is sleeping and the other one is what? Praying. So he put one arrow, hit him. He shot in his leg. Blood is gushing out. So he took the arrow, took it out and threw it. And continued praying. Second arrow, this guy, hit him. His leg again. So he takes the arrow, put it back and still praying. This one, third arrow. So lots of blood came out now. He was scared to lose consciousness now. He took the arrow, third one, and then he prayed quickly. And then he woke up, Ammar. لَقَدْ أُتِيت. There's an enemy coming, going to be attacking you. Attacking us. As soon as he woke him up, that guy is just so that there's two people now, they're alert. He ran up. He ran up. Now Ammar is asking him, that person, subhanAllah, he was in such munajah with his Lord, talking to his Lord. He doesn't care about arrows. He's eating kebab. You know, when you eat kebab, you don't care about anything. For him, the kebab is what? Recitation of the Quran, talking to Allah. So he said to him, why didn't you wake me up from the beginning? He said, Wallahi, I was in the Surah Al-Kahf. Had it been that I will mess up the mission of the Prophet of Allah that he sent us to God, Wallahi, I will not stop praying until I finish Surah Al-Kahf, or my throat is to be cut to my life. Do you understand? I don't care for my life to go. But because Allah's messenger put me in a mission, then I'll fail him. That's why he prayed quickly, finished that surah quickly, and he woke him up. What did we understand from the story? Why did I bring the story? Come on. Everybody's looking at me. Come on. Anybody?
Praying with blood.
I pray with blood. Prophet ﷺ, he got revelation. If that blood violated and nullified his prayer, Prophet Allah would have been told, he told him to repeat the prayer. But he did not. And there's other proof as well. Blood of the enemy is not najis, it's not impure. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he says blood does nullify the wudu, therefore it will nullify the prayer. Because he didn't have the story I had. He didn't see it. It was not his time. The hadith was not that much around it. He was the first imam. The hadith was not flying around. He did not go from his place. And Abu Hanifa Nu'man. He didn't. Because of that, he was depending more onto not the hadiths, but ijtihad. That's the correct opinion. That's more likely. Or athar from the companions, not from the Prophet. If I say now, the blood does not break the wudu, which is the hadith, I am a more Hanafi than the one who says I'm a Hanafi. Do you understand that? How? How can it be I am more Hanafi than that Hanafi? Because if Abu Hanifa was alive, he will say, إذا صح الحديث فهو and the hadith is authentic, is my madhab. So if he was alive, he would see this hadith, my madhab. So I'm taking the madhab of Abu Hanifa. I'm more Hanafi than them. And the Shafi'i will be more Shafi'i than them. And Abu Maliki will be more than them. And all of that. I will be more than them because I'm following the correct hadith. He didn't see it. He didn't know it was authentic. Maybe something came to him. For example, Imam Malik rahimahullah. Okay, Imam Malik, he was one day asked a question regarding putting the little finger between the toes when you make wudu. So he said, no sunnah, it's like bid'ah. One of the students of his, Ibn Wahab, he was listening. Then after the class is finished and dismissed, nobody with him, he went to him. He said, Imam Malik, I've got this hadith. What do you think? He said, Haddathana such and such from such and such from such and such. And the Prophet of Allah made takhleel, put his little finger between his toes in the wudu. Now Imam Malik is a computer. Put into him hadith, he will know what is authentic or not authentic. He's a scholar. He said, Hada hadithun hasan. This hadith is authentic. In another class, the student says, Imam Malik was asked the same question. So he said, yes, it is sunnah. إذا صح الحديث فهو مذهب. If the hadith is authentic, it's my madhab. Straight away change his opinion. Because the hadith said, it is sunnah. That is to put your little finger in your toes when you make the wudu. These are the scholars. These are the companions. These are the scholars who follow the companions. Fadal Ahmed.
Jazakallah khairan, Shaykhana. Shaykhana, there's a title, The Sayings of the Imams with respect to following the Sunnah. Should we skip that or read that one? It's not part of the text.
No, don't read it because we're having more time.
Jazakallah khairan. Thus, this statement is sufficient for us for now. It is a proof that every Imam from those Imams advised himself, advised his Ummah, and advised his followers by ordering them to return to the Hadith if it differed from his ijtihad or his opinion. This therefore opens the way, even if it be by way of blind following the Imams, for a return to the Quran and Sunnah.
Well, yes, this will open the way to Quran and Sunnah. One person came up to Imam Shafi'i. He said, Imam Shafi'i, what do you say regarding this issue? And he gave him the issue. He said, well, the Prophet of Allah said such and such. So what about you? What do you say? He got annoyed. He said, did you see me coming out of the church? Did you see me with a belt in my middle, like the priests have this rope in the middle? Did you see me with a belt in my middle? I'm saying to you, Prophet, I'm said, and you're asking me, what do I say? Dare you? Do you understand me? This person said, what do you say then? What the Prophet of Allah said. Two people, one person came to Imam, to Abdullah ibn Abbas as a companion. He asked him about the mut'ah, not the marriage of mut'ah. Mut'ah means the tamattu' in the Hajj. He said, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded to make the tamattu'. Yes. So he said to him, but Abu Bakr and Umar, they don't see it to be correct, make tamattu'. He said to him, Yushiku an tumtira as-sama'u hijara. The heavens about to shower us with stones. I'm saying to you, Qala Allah. Allah said, Qala Rasul. Prophet said, and you say to me, Abu Bakr and Umar. And Abu Bakr and Umar are the great names. So you're going to tell these people, are you saying to me, Hanafi, Shafi? Oh, what is compared to Abu Bakr and Umar? Nothing. And Abu Amr and Abu Bakr and Umar compared to the Prophet? Nothing. إذا جاء نهر الله بطل نهر معقل. That is, if the river of Allah comes, these little rivers will go. This is the قال الله قال رسوله. You see, the hadith or the opinion of Shafi'i opposes the hadith of the Prophet. While Imam Shafi'i is alive, he says, اتهم عقلي. That means I am crazy. I am mad. He said, Imam Shafi'i, if you see the hadith goes against what I say and I'm still alive, that means I haven't changed my mind, that means my mind is well finished. Cuckoo. Khalas. I'm crazy. How can I adopt something that the Prophet of Allah is saying differ and I'm still alive, I haven't changed my mind? That means my mind's something wrong with it. These are the Imams very strict on this issue. Coming back, please. And we'll stop here, inshallah.
So we will mention some of the examples which conflict with the Sunnah.
Khalas. We'll mention some examples, inshallah. Mention the next 2 weeks' time. If you have any question regarding what we have heard or anything that you want to know, please go ahead. And by the way, we're doing very well, mashallah. I reckon in maybe 4 classes we'll be finished. But sometimes I do more explanation. That's why it took some time. I was planning actually to go more than this because I've gone into the Maturidiyya, Ash'ariyya, that's why. Any question, Ikhwani, regarding what we have heard? Faisal, Fadal, Faisal.
Sheikh, that statement from Imam Abu Hanifa, if hadith is sahih, that is my madhab. I remember a few years ago when I used to live in New York City, there was a staunch Hanafi Imam, and I had mentioned a statement of him, and he looked at me and he said, I'm very aware of this statement, but the enemies of Imam Abu Hanifa had fabricated this against him. So how do you respond to someone like that?
Al-Bayinatu. Please. I don't want to lose them. The electricity is just, my battery is gone dying. Barakallah. Remind me to take it on. الدعاوى إن لم تقيموا عليها بينات فأبناؤها أدعياء. They say, this is a claim. If he doesn't bring a proof for it, then it becomes a claim. He claims, allegation, I should say, allegations. An allegation, if you don't have a proof for it, it becomes an allegation. He says that these are the enemies who have fabricated this against him. This has been said with chain. We don't really say Abu Hanifa said. No, there's a chain of narrators. So he's telling us all these chain of narrators are enemies of Abu Hanifa. Subhanallah alladhi la ilaha. Abu Hanifa's got not just one saying, too many sayings. He tells off his student, Abu Yusuf Yaqub, his name, and he tells off Al-Hasan al-Shaybani, another student of his, tells them off. He says to them, what are you writing? You write what you say. Don't do that. I'm a person says something today, I change my mind tomorrow. When I say something tomorrow, I change my mind the day after. Take from what we take. So he was objecting on his students taking his opinions. Don't take my opinion. I'm a human being, make a mistake. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah is a great scholar, but he will never accept people to blind follow him just like that. No way. Yes, if a person doesn't know, he will follow not Abu Hanifa, because if he is able to reach to Abu Hanifa saying, that means he's a learned person. But he will blind follow his imam, follow the sheikh in his, because he's what? He is illiterate, not illiterate, he's ignorant. Because of his ignorance, we allow him to go and, follow somebody, because he doesn't know. But you say to me, he's Hanafi, ask his Hanafi, what is the thing that you know about Hanafi madhab to call yourself Hanafi? Do you know the only thing he would say to you? He would think. He doesn't know even the blood issue, because he's ignorant. Yes, my hands in the prayer below my navel. Wallahi, that's for them, the Hanafi. Because if he saw you like this, he said, you're Wahhabi. Hanafi, khalas. Or putting your hands up after the prayer. Hanafi, see what I mean? That's the Hanafi with them. But doesn't know anything about Abu Hanifa's fiqh. Tell him what book he had made. Well, I'll give you £1,000 if he does that. How did we get Abu Hanifa's fiqh? Because he thought he writes a book. He doesn't know. Shafi'i, the same thing. They don't know anything about the Shafi'i except for what? Qunut al-Fajr. Fajr, they make Qunut. If you go to Sri Lanka, Masjid Shafi'i, they want Qunut Fajr. That's the Shafi'i for them. Ask him what the name of Shafi'i, he doesn't know. Al-Shafi'i, he made a book, he wrote a book called Al-Um. He's got a student of his, Al-Muzani, his name. He said, this is the book of Al-Shafi'i called Al-Um. مع إعلاميه إياه. While he's telling me, لا يقلد إلا جاهل. The one who copies only the one who is ignorant. That means he's telling me, not telling us with this book, don't copy what I say. Unless you are what? Ignorant, جاهل. لا يقلد إلا جاهل. Imam Ibn Hazm, he said, لا يقلد إلا جاهل إلا or غبي. I like that. Either is ignorant or غبي, stupid. He got the tool to go and find out, but he's stupid. He wants to stick, no, I'm a Hanafi. How do you say, no, I have to be Hanafi? It's like Ibrahim is a religion. So want to be pulled away from Hanafi. Abu Hanafi, they make them more infallible. Let's see if they're going to agree with Abu Hanifa when we come to the next 2 weeks' time, inshallah. You'll be shocked. This is Hanafi what they say. But these people, they don't know about that. But we are more Hanafi than Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa is alive, we will never say this. Hanifa is a scholar. But these people, as I said, their target is what Abu Hanifa said. Our target is what Muhammad said. That's a difference. So the people of Madhahib, they rotate themselves apart from the sayings of their scholars. But the people of Al-Hadith, they rotate themselves around what? Hadith of the Prophet of Allah. The Muhaddith always what? Lives with the Hadith. And those people lives what? With the sayings of their Imams. What did the Imam say regarding this? So some of the scholars of theirs, any hadith which does not go along with what we say, either it is not correct or it is twisted, something like, or abrogated, not correct or abrogated, or has to be, it has, our madhab is the default. This hadith comes in. If it's not correct, if it's not going along with us, it's abrogated. It's cancelled. or mu'awwal, or it is not be had to be reinterpreted. Not correct. Subhanallah. This is called blind following. This is called ta'assub, taking it as a deen. I have a lecture regarding this issue, I think, 2 lectures called Al-Taqeel Al-A'ma. A very good quotation there from the scholars, from Al-Karhi and others. طيب, any other questions, Ikhwani? So tell that person, Ya Faisal, قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Give me proof that this is the enemies, like forge this against Abu Hanifa. Not Abu Hanifa, all of them. Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Allah Musta'an. طيب, any other question? Fadal.
Yeah, we believe following just Allah and Rasul, then we ignore all the other madhahib.
Do we follow Allah and His Messenger and ignore all the madhahib? We never say ignore the madhahib. We say don't take the madhahib as deen. Use madhahib to help you to understand. So we don't have 4 madhahib. We have more than that. We have scholars madhahib. Have you heard about As-Sufyanan, Thawri, Sufyan ibn Uyayna? Have you heard about Al-Layth, Layth ibn Sa'd? There are lots of scholars there, but the people they know, Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Ahmad. They don't know what it is. These are wasail, tools, but they're not the targets. There's no such thing to stick yourself to a particular madhab. It's not correct. You are to go and choose what is the right. It could be not 4 of them. And I'm pretty sure in a number of cases, you did not choose what any of them had chosen. All the 4 scholars, they say, if a person who has divorced his wife in one go, anti-taliq, 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 he said, you are divorced, you are divorced, you are divorced. According to the 4 madhahib, she is divorced completely. She cannot go back to her husband until she marries somebody else. And after that person marries her, if he dies or he divorces her, a normal divorce, then she could go back to her ex-husband, the first one. None of us apply this. On all the Islamic courts in the Arab lands, they don't implement this. They implement Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah's opinion. Because Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he returned this fatwa to the time of the Prophet. Where did these scholars got this? From Umar al-Khattab. Umar al-Khattab is the one who changed it. Because at this time, people used to divorce, play around with the divorce. Okay, we'll teach them a lesson. You should divorce twice. Divorce 3 times. That's it. Since the time of Umar al-Khattab, it's been adapted. But before that, it was if you divorce to the power 1,000, still one divorce. You know maths? Divorce to the power. Us-alf. Divorce to the power 1,000. I mean, divorce. You could divorce as much as you want. Because you cannot divorce a divorcee woman. Once you divorce her, she's divorced. You can't divorce her. Do you understand me? Once you divorce, she's divorced. How can you divorce a divorce? It's like saying person, he divorces before they marry. Divorce, and then he marries. Oh, the divorce is not going to count because you haven't married her yet. Okay, so when you divorce, she became a divorce. How can you divorce a divorcee? A divorcee, she's been divorced. It doesn't work. So that is why we say we don't depend upon these madhab as in to be the target, but we take them to help. Of course, they're scholars. We learn from them, but they're saying it doesn't mean that this is decisive into it. We have to know that maybe other scholars said something different. We call it al-fiqh al-muqaran. We're going to talk about that. Fiqh al-muqaran, muqaran or muqaran. Al-fiqh that will compare between which one is correct. Now, another question, Ikhwani? Yalla habibi. MashaAllah. Is this the speaker? Yeah. I thought it was air conditioning. طيب. تفضل.
What's the difference between Salafi and Sunni?
What's the difference between Salafi and Sunni? I said this word Sunnah is a big umbrella. Underneath which we said anything but the Rafida Shia. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So you could put into it even we said Sufi. Sunni. When we ask the Sufi, what do you say to you? Sunni or Shia, you say to you. We say Sunni. Even the hardcore Sufi, the one who jumps up and down. So when it comes to the big division, Rafida, Shia, or Sunni, we say Sunnah. But in that Sunnah, there are lots of things there. We have said Shia, Maturidi, Mu'tazila. There is some of them even Jahmi, some of them check them out of Kuffar. So we had Murji'ah, we had okay, and also in the Madahib, Shafi'i, Hanafi, all of these are underneath the umbrella of Sunnah. So which one is the one that follows قال الله قال رسوله and the interpretation of the Sahaba, whom the Prophet of Allah, whom Allah said, Allah Azza wa told us about the Sahaba, والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. والسابقون الأولون, the first predecessors, مهاجرون الأنصار, the immigrants who migrated from Mecca to Medina, and the Ansar, the inhabitants of Medina who gave aid to the people who immigrated from Mecca. Those are the ones who are called Salaf, Sahaba. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ, and those who follow them in righteousness. Ihsan means the ultimate. You follow them in everything that they say. So they take this opinion, take that opinion. If you have different two opinions, your opinion has to be within these two opinions. You can't make another opinion. It has to be within the Sahaba. رضي الله عنهم, Allah is pleased with them. وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ, and they are pleased with what Allah prepared for them. Those are called Ahlul Hadith, Ahlul Salaf, Salaf, the predecessors. These are the called. Means attributing themselves, قال الله, قال رسوله, قال الصحابة. So in that case, the Salafi is Sunni, but not every Sunni is Salafi. Because as I said, the Sufi can say, I'm Sunni, because they're not Shia. But you know, for the Salafi, for them, we call it Shahma ala nar, the fat with the fire. No way you could combine Salafi and Sufi together. Because as I said, there's a huge difference. No. And that's why the enemy is all in for these partisans, always a Salafi. And the Salafi is not a partisan, nor it's a group, nor it's a Jama'ah. But people think it is. Because for them, when they look, all of these names and all, oh yes, the Salafis as well, they are Hizb or partisan. No. There is no such thing called Sheikh of the Hizb, whereas the other one, they have a head, which every time they change it, every maybe 10 years, they call Murshid al-Am, such and such. So we had Ikhwan Muslimin Brotherhood, we had Partisan of Hizb al-Tahrir. Each one got a head. They got a Jama'ah, they have to register. Muntasib. You have to pay as well 10%, maybe 5% of your salary to them. There's no such thing as Salafi. Salafi is قال الله قال رسول. That's their head. So wherever you are, attributing yourself to this manhaj, you are into that manhaj. I don't have to go and what? Make a special deal with you. I want to belong to your Jama'ah. No, we don't do that. We don't have that. We rotate where the fatwa says this. Fatwa of Qala Allah, we go with the fatwa. That's our Shaykh, Shaykh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's our prophet. We go with him. If this person who was a Salafi and then he failed, we leave him. We are following the haqq. We're not following the person because the person must be deviated. We're following the haqq. Ya Ikhwani, and that is very important to me to remind you that some people think that we are Hizb, but we are not. I always give this example, which is taken from Shaykh Al-Halabi rahimahullah. Imagine Islam with its clarity, pristine, clear, as the time of the Prophet of Allah and the Sahaba. Nothing, no partisans, no Jama'ah, nothing. Is like this wallpaper. This wallpaper, mashallah. I know it's a rubbish wallpaper. Let's imagine this wallpaper is white. Nice wall, white paper, and mashallah, there's nothing there. As the time of the Prophet, Islam was like this, clear, white, no other color. So now later on, Jahmiyyah came, which is before. First of all, came the Khawarij. They put a color. Black. Another group came in that. Say the group, this is a circle. Another circle which Jahmiyyah. Another circle which is Mu'tazili. Another circle which is Ash'ara. Another circle Murji'ah. Another circle which is Maturidiyah. Another circle Al-Azariqa. Lots of colors. So the person who's looking at the map, he thinks that the white is a color as well. You understand it? But the white is not a color. The white is the origin. But for him, because this is black, blue, green, red, all of them coloring themselves, he thinks what? That it's a color. So each one does a color, but we are not color. We are the same. We are staying upon what qala Allah. We're not twisting ourselves to any fatwa to any person, except if we bring the proof from qala Allah. That's the Salafi and that's the Sunni. وسبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. I'm sorry, Ahmed. We have to finish because everybody is